shows up. Okay? All right.
Should we start with the videos now?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Joel, please. Joel.
The province of Bataan pursues a strategy of holistic, sustainable, and inclusive growth, anchored on its mission and vision. This strategy intimately links economic objectives with aspirations for the Bataeños' quality of life. Bataan is richly endowed in terms of location, natural resources, and human capital that attracted investments to pour in. Bataan hosts the biggest number of special economic zones, collectively offering a superior basket of incentives, combined with robust infrastructure and security systems. Aiming for excellent public service has spawned an automated performance management system in assessing government performance across several areas that paved the way for being awarded the Seal of Good Local Governance in the last 4 years. In primary health care, grassroots communities had been incentivized to look after their own well-being, thereby earning the One Bataan Seal of Healthy Barangay, which was later converted into the One Bataan Seal of COVID-Free and Dengue-Free Barangay. Significant breakthroughs in secondary and tertiary healthcare were also made via the Service Delivery Network, a pilot site for implementing the Universal Healthcare Law, equitable access to quality healthcare through Malasakit Centers and One Bataan Malasakit Dialysis Assistance Centers. Prevent, detect, isolate, and treat. A holistic direct response to the pandemic. Fast, accessible PCR testing and efficient contact tracing have slowed down local transmission. Pervasive online and on-ground risk communications. Border control has been effectively enforced through technology-driven measures. Temporary treatment and monitoring facilities were established in 2020, and one of which is the One Bataan Mega Quarantine and Processing. A referral hotline, coupled with real-time monitoring dashboard of active cases, plus a hospital bed tracker. In addition, bed capacity was expanded in 2 major hospitals for COVID-19 cases, while treatment for non-COVID patients are sustained through facility expansions and partnership with private hospitals to help tide many Bataeños over sporadic lockdowns. The province supplemented ayuda from the national government with swift initiatives to keep families from going hungry. Recognizing vaccination as the ultimate preventive weapon against the pandemic, Bataan has harnessed its resources optimally to make sure that every eligible Bataeño would be inoculated. In this regard, Bataan is leading the way in Region 3. Beyond stopgap measures, the provincial government accelerated efforts to make job and livelihood opportunities accessible through job placement referrals, a peso call center, and an enhanced online platform for spotting employment opportunities. The province has perked up livelihood and job creation on the ground by sustaining support to micro, small and medium enterprises or MSMEs. One Bataan Smart Business Directory, a mobile lifestyle and business app, a free online label design and printing services to MSMEs, boosting their marketing efforts. The One Bataan handicraft industry ecosystem. Over the years, the provincial government has honed its system of attracting, soliciting, and processing bids for public-private partnerships or PPPs. The Bunker, the pilot PPP flagship project of Bataan, now serves as an elegant one-stop shop. Now, PPP projects are germinating in various industries. In agribusiness, the province has teamed up with an Israeli company to set up the One Bataan Agriculture Innovation and Technology Center, which empowers clusters of small farmers to modernize their operations and diversify into high-value crops. The Bataan No-Contact Apprehension System. With sustained support over the years, Freeport Area Bataan, or FAB, has established itself as a major contributor to the provincial and national economies. With FAB nearing full capacity in terms of locators, it comes as a welcome development that it is now legally authorized to accept locators in any part of the province. As of mid-2021, 19 FAB expansion areas have been identified, 11 of them outside Mariveles. These include the Colonnade at the capital in Balanga City, the One Bataan Command Center compound in Orani, Bataan New Container Port in Pilar, Bataan Baseco International Seaport Terminal Complex and Township. By far the biggest ticket item in the pipeline is the Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge that will further energize the dynamic economies of Regions 3 and 4 as well as the NCR. Moreover, the redevelopment of Samat Shrine of Valor to make it a world-class hub for history and culture. In the shadow of that massive structure, housing projects are in the works. With built-in community facilities, these One Bataan villages will bring the promise of a decent life to erstwhile informal settlers, fishermen, and low-income government employees. Even as the province continues to dream big in the middle of a pandemic, it makes sure that no Bataeño is left behind. The COVID-19 experience has showcased Bataan's resiliency, malasakit, and the value of unity and cooperation on multiple levels. Now, investors can ride on that dynamic momentum more easily than ever before. The province is now a few comfortable hops away. Through the One Bataan Investment Center at the SM Mall of Asia complex, potential investors can get a taste of Bataan's potential as an ecotourism hub. Proof yet again that no matter the circumstances, however daunting the odds, Bataan will always be open for business.
The Philippines is known to be a laboratory for almost every natural hazard. Around 10 of about 20 tropical cyclones make landfall each year, in recent years with deadly force and sometimes in succession. We live with the risk of earthquakes, live volcanoes and tsunamis, generated by movements along the Ring of Fire. In the years between 2000 and 2019, we ranked 4th, right behind China, the US, and India, in terms of the human cost of disasters. Weather-related disasters outnumbered all the others, and climate change is set to bring on more extremes, increased temperatures, and more intense tropical cyclones, especially in our cities and in Mindanao, our country's food basket. As our hazards are changing, our exposure and vulnerability are too. Economic growth has led to rapid urbanization, densifying cities who cannot deliver social services, healthcare, housing, lifeline systems, and security. Today, we struggle to contain COVID-19's impact on all our lives. Combined with other hazards, the pandemic has exposed and deepened our risk, especially for those already most vulnerable. Resilience may be defined as the capacity to survive and thrive in the face of shocks and uncertainties. At the NRC, we work primarily to prevent risk where it begins. We use science and technology-based public-private partnerships to develop and share tools to build resilient local government systems. We build capacity for evidence-informed leadership and governance by focusing on deepening local government's understanding of the physical and social geography of risk from hazards that we know and those yet to come. And third, we engage champions across different sectors in a whole-of-society approach to invest in resilience through our 3-year program to prepare, adapt, and transform. This Nexus approach ties national and local government, the private sector, universities, civil society, and communities together in co-creating and implementing evidence-informed solutions that will build a resilient, inclusive, and sustainable future for our country. Join us by adopting a city, sharing your expertise through our platforms, collaborating and supporting action research in our universities, and increasing our country's disaster risk management professionals through training and education. We all have a stake in our country and in our planet's future. It is not enough to respond and just bounce back to how vulnerable we were before a disaster. Resilience requires that we act today so that all can bounce forward together.
Double down on our efforts to catch up with science and technology and innovation. Science and technology and innovation, these are indispensable in the modern economy, in the modern world.
The problem being that, while we have our PhDs here, there aren't enough of us. And everywhere else in the world, for research to be successful, you need a complete research group.
It's very important that the PAASE members and scientists based in the Philippines are continuously in contact, so we will know the needs of the Filipinos and the opportunities that the Filipinos can have to do science with their PAASE counterparts.
I think that is one of the good programs that they keep on supporting some of the initiatives of our researchers and scientists here in the country.
The role of this cooperation among these government agencies really is to be able to attract science and technology global-based companies to set up shop here. And that is really key in terms of developing the science and technology innovation ecosystem in the country.
We really need to ratchet up the appreciation, the recognition of the importance of science and technology and innovation.
And we are all trying to attain what we call the common good, the greater, higher, long-term good of the Filipino people.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the MOU signing for the establishment of the BATAAN Advanced S&T Ecosystem for Sustainable Development. My name is CP David. I'll be your moderator for this afternoon. I'm a professor in UP Diliman, a member of PAASE. I work with NRC and Tony and Malu Ernie and everybody over there, a former member of SecBoy's DOST family, and finally, a resident of Orani, Bataan for the last 4 years. I should also mention that of all MOUs I've been involved in, this one is by far the fastest in getting all stakeholders on board, owing to the fact that the planned activities and projects for the MOU are well in line with all stakeholders' goals and aspirations. At this point, allow me to now read a portion of the MOU. And if Ma'am Giselle can flash that on the screen. And I hope all our partners, now while Ma'am Giselle is sharing her screen, all our partners are already present. Okay. Let me start with the top portion of our MOU. All right, this Memorandum of Understanding signed into the 12th day of October 2021 among the following: the Provincial Government of Bataan, of course, represented by Governor Honorable Albert Raymond S. Garcia, the DOST Region Office Number 3, as represented by its Regional Director, Dr. Julius Cesar Sicat, the Bataan Peninsula State University, represented by its President, Dr. Gregorio Rodis, the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, represented by its President, Dr. Gisela Concepcion, the National Resilience Council, represented by its President, Antonia Yulo Loizaga, and certainly not the least, the Carlos P. Romulo Foundation for Peace and Development, represented by its President and Chairman, Mr. Roberto R. Romulo. The entire MOU will be in each of the stakeholders' websites, but for our audience this afternoon, allow me to just read a portion, which is very important, a portion of the project under Article 1. And these are the programs and projects that will be initially initiated by the stakeholders. Article 1, program and projects to conceptualize programs and projects which shall be covered by separate memoranda of agreements that respond to employment, food production, health and environment, research, education, and housing goals of the province while giving due priority to the following. Number 1, practical applications of 3D and additive manufacturing technologies, including but not limited to the development of proof of concept for 3D printed housing. Number 2, design and implementation of plastic waste management projects, including but not limited to the creation of a plastic value chain, upcycling and recycling of plastic products. And finally, number 3, smart precision agriculture projects that shall establish Bataan as a major source of local food products. At this point, I would like to give the floor to PAASE President, Dr. Gisela Concepcion, for her opening remarks. The floor is yours, Ma'am Gisela.
Thank you, Dr. David. Greetings to our distinguished partners, special guests and participants, especially to our Bataeños. Special greetings to the distinguished leaders of the public-private partner organizations, which are parties to the Bataan Memorandum of Agreement. Memorandum of Understanding that will be signed today. The Honorable Bataan Governor Albert Garcia, TOST Secretary Dr. Fortunato de la Peña, Carlos P. Romulo Foundation Chair Ambassador Roberto Romulo, Bataan Peninsula State University President Dr. Gregorio Rodis, National Resilience Council President Antonia Yulo Loizaga. Special thanks to former NEDA Secretary, UP Professor Emeritus Dr. Ernesto Pernia, who brought us all together. Also, I would like to recognize DOST Region 3 Director Dr. Julius Cesar J.V. Sicat, PAASE Vice President Dr. Mariano Santo Domingo, and BPSU Professor Dr. John Ryan Dizon. Also recognize PAASE's lead implementers of the MOU, Dr. Pernia, Rigoberto Advincula, Fabian Dairit, Gonzalo Sarafica, and Carlos Primo David. In particular, we shall provide S&T support for the use of 3D printing or additive manufacturing technology in the housing, township, waste upcycling, precision agriculture, and education programs of Bataan. On behalf of the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, or PAASE, thank you for the opportunity to co-host this historic event for Bataan and for PAASE to contribute to the history of progress in Bataan. Indeed, Bataan's history is replete with stories of courageous men and women who survived and flourished again through the fall and rise of Bataan. History replays itself as we never forget, and we draw learnings and insights from our history and heritage. Today, we in PAASE have to scroll down. A 490 strong S&T community of Filipino scientists and engineers based in the Philippines, United States, and other countries join leaders and all stakeholders in Bataan in this historic signing by 6 public and private partners in a whole of community, whole of province approach to uplifting the lives of Filipinos by being a co-signatory of this Memorandum of Understanding for Bataan's march forward, upward, with great vigor and optimism to greater, inclusive, sustainable, people-centric, S&T or knowledge-driven progress. Thank you very much, everyone. And at this point, I would like to recognize the presence of other VIPs from Bataan. Joffrey Loyola, Chief of Staff, Josie Timoteo, Bataan PDRRM Officer, and members of the NRC Experts Pool. So CP, you may check on who are the other VIPs who have joined our event today. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Ma'am Giselle. And for sure, we will mention our other VIPs and attendees to this MOU signing much later on. At this point, let's move on with our program with a few messages from our partners, starting with the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, no less than Secretary Fortunato T. de la Peña, is here with us today. And if I may mention, Sec Boy, everyone here has a connection to the province of Bataan, and your connection in particular would be that your better half actually hails from Balanga, Bataan. Is that correct, Sec Boy? Sec Boy, are you there? I saw that you were in your car earlier. but I hope you can hear us and offer us a few messages.
Thank you, thank you. Well, gano'n. Dali lang.
Take your time, Sec Boy.
Ah,
Pero nabanggit ko na yung better half nyo ay taga Batangas.
yeah, yeah. Hindi ako makapasok sa video. Okay na. Asan ako?
Parang the camera is
Camera, hindi pa nakaano.
partly covered.
Good, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sec Boy.
Good afternoon. Actually, yeah, you mentioned that, Bataan is part of our lives. Actually, I have roots in Bataan. My father was born in Bataan. My wife actually is also from Bataan. And actually, we and your wife, we trace the same roots. So I would like to first greet our artists involved in this memorandum of understanding, and first I would like to thank our PAASE president who gave the introduction, the ever busy Dr. Giselle Concepcion. Katatapos lang ng PAASE 41st APAMS, and I'm sure she has not yet rested. So my greetings to our Bataan Governor, Abet Garcia, to BPSU President Dr. Gregorio Rodis, to our PAASE President, of course, Dr. Giselle Concepcion, to the National Resilience Council President, Ms. Antonia Yulo Loizaga, to the Carlos P. Romulo Foundation for Peace and Development, through its chairman and president, Ambassador Fabio Romulo, and to the members of our DOST family headed by DOST Region 3 Regional Director, Dr. Julius Cesar Sicat. To all our guest friends, isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat. Today marks another milestone for the province of Bataan as we are having the signing of a memorandum of understanding related to our desire to collaborate for the development and implementation of programs and projects that respond to various concerns such as employment, food, nutrition, food production, health and environment, research, education, and housing, okay, which are all concerns of an LGU. I am delighted to note that the simple brainstorming session which we had at the Balanga City Hall last March 12, 2021, immediately led to a fruitful meeting. We actually met, and our topic was smart cities. Okay, that was the topic we were with Mayor Francis at that time, and this expanded on to bring in the provincial government, and eventually this activity today. I'm not sure how sila. Our partners, the Resilience Council and the CPR Foundation, of course, joined in, but I'm sure it was with talks with the provincial governor. So I would like to thank PAASE for making this happen, this start of the influx of world-class and relevant ideas and technical guidance and assistance from our Filipino scientists, okay, under the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering. So this MOU is very science-driven, you know. So the signatories have science and technology in mind to address the concerns and the problems that we have. Actually, marami kaming pangarap para sa Bataan, no? Alam yan ni President Rodis, no? Gusto namin umandar diyan yung aming automated guideway transit, ano? So kung bibigyan lang sana kami ng enough funds ng DBM, we can have it running not only as a as a laboratory for the railway engineering program that has been set up at the Bataan Peninsula State University, also through our prodding, no? But sana ay maging actual means of transportation, even just going around, no, from the Roman Highway to the Capitolio and back. Actually, Balik Scientist has been very instrumental in providing solutions to our concerns. And one example is of course, the setting up. Actually, hindi pa siya nagiging nicer, pero soon siguro yung ating 3D printing research center sa Bataan Peninsula State University. Si Dr. Dison, who was trained by Dr. Gobet Advincula. I think, hindi ko alam kung nasa Cleveland pa si Gobet nung i-train niya sila Kokoy Dison. But when he came back, Dr. Dison really was very serious in setting up a program at BPSU. Of course, starting with some projects and then incorporating this in their teaching programs. And on the other hand, the DOST naman has been our region 3 has been active in many activities, mostly related to our support to enterprises in Bataan to upgrade their productivity. We also have that project involving the ano nga ang tawag doon, yung matadero dyan sa Bataan, para ma-upgrade yung facilities. And in a way, we also helped by way of some advice and assistance in setting up the Balanga Science High School. So it also started with a conversation. They wanted a PAASE to be set up in Balanga, but we are of course constrained because we are limited to only one PAASE campus per region. So I suggested, why don't you attempt to have a city science high school, and I gave some models to follow, okay, and like the one in Valenzuela, also in Ilocos Norte, and it needed legislation, I think, and that came very fast. Okay, so that when by the time I came back 1 year later, the school has already opened, and we were able to help by way of some equipment, laboratory equipment, coming from DOST Region 3 to Dr. Sikat. And so the ideas keep flowing, and I am sure that with, of course, kung hindi sana nga nagkaroon ng pandemic, tuloy-tuloy na sana itong lahat ng ating mga iniisip na gawin. Kahit naman meron tayong restrictions sa mobility, and even restrictions in terms of human resources, kasi ang dami-daming naaapektuhan din, I mean, physically talaga nagkakasakit, and so even in DOST, for some reason, our rate of infection is higher than the other government agencies. We are at 13%, all our employees, and really it is a big challenge. So we have actually many programs. It's still fresh in my mind, because this was the same thing that I explained to our PAASE members yesterday, that we have, for example, this Science for Change program, where we are really trying to use science and technology for inclusive and sustainable development. The setting up of niche research centers in the regions outside of the Metro Manila area and the other urban centers, and the building of our RD leaders in the provinces, so that they can help in building capability for R&D. The program that we have to strengthen or to motivate our enterprises to partner with the academe for research needs, and also the project that we have to enable our enterprises to have their own facilities for R&D. These are all geared towards developing or are attaining inclusive and sustainable development. And we have many others that I can cite, but I think this will all fall into place after we have signed the memorandum of understanding, and I'm sure that specific projects will already follow. And so I would like to express a big appreciation to Ambassador Bobby Romulo for deciding to get involved with BATAAN, and also to Ms. Yulo Gonzaga to for involving the National Resilience Council. And to everyone, of course, una ko nang binati kanina si Governor Abet, at medyo naninibago lang ako sa aming mga haircut, ano? Mga clean cut kami ngayon, ano? And so, Governor, I think this will really be a big push to a big support to what you have been putting into place. We know that you really are very serious about putting Bataan in the forefront of socioeconomic development. Sana matuloy na, Governor, yung coastal highway from Bataan to Manila. Ayan ay matagal na nating pangarap, okay? And I remember the days when I was working at the Bataan Refinery. I took the boat from Escolta to to Orion or to Lamao, or yung mga ganon, and very exciting to recall. So, but that was more than 50 years ago. So, haba na yung sinabi ko, but I'm really excited, and I am really glad that this is taking place. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. CP, thank you very much for joining us.
Maraming salamat, Sec Boy. And as you mentioned, there are so many touch points between DOST and the province of Bataan. And siguro this we owe to you, and of course to the very active regional director of DOST, JCC Cat. You know, like DOST, we always recognize that S&T and research, no, in science and engineering cannot operate in a vacuum, and therefore our quest to look for partners, LGUs who have the same vision as us, is a constant quest for us, no, to find these like-minded people. Buti na lang, we found the province of Bataan to be the ideal partner for such projects. No? And without much further ado, I'd like to welcome and for us to hear a few messages from the governor of the province of Bataan, Honorable Albert Esper. Gov. Albert, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Maraming salamat, Sir CP, sa ating lahat na nandito ngayon. Sa Philippine-American Academy of Science and Engineering President kay Ma'am Gisela P. Concepcion, National Resilience Council President, of course, our partner, Ma'am Antonia Yulo Loizaga, Carlos P. Romulo Foundation for Peace and Development Incorporated, to its chairman and president, Ambassador Roberto R. Romulo, to former Secretary Ernesto Perña, sa aming kababayan who we're very proud of, kay Secretary Boy de la Peña, and of course the Regional Director of DOST, kay Director Julius Cesar Sicat, to the officers and members of the different partner agencies from the public and private sector, guests and ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our team from the province of Bataan, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. The pursuit of a better quality of life for every Bataeño by providing them with more opportunities for health, education, growth, and development is a vision that remains constant for us in the province of Bataan. To achieve this, we recognize the importance of building a symbolic partnership between public and private entities where both parties freely allow an exchange of knowledge and resources that benefit the people in the long run. Today's signing of a memorandum of agreement between the provincial government of Bataan, the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, or PAASE, the National Resilience Council, and the Carlos P. Romulo Foundation for Peace and Development Incorporated brings focus to a collaboration of efforts toward the achievement of this goal. It is a cause bigger than ourselves. So, as we recognize the pivotal role that science and technology play in the progress of any nation by being tools of economic growth and transformation and how essential they are to sustainable development, we have embarked on this significant project, the establishment of the Bataan Advanced Science and Technology Ecosystem for Sustainable Development, which will be a venue for science, technology, and innovation-based PPPs, or public-private partnerships, in Bataan that will respond to employment, health and environment, research and education, and housing goals of the province. The program under BAST ESD will help in the development of a demonstration site for 3D and additive manufacturing applications, prioritizing proof of concept and cost for 3D printed housing in the design and implementation of plastic waste management through education and information, including the creation of a value chain for products from plastic waste, upcycling and recycling of plastic products, and in establishing Bataan as a regional source of food through precision agriculture. As such, our province commits to this worthwhile undertaking by providing a land area to host demonstration sites for 3D technology and additive manufacturing applications and precision farming, and designate a pilot site for barangay-based plastic waste management project. We will also engage the Bataan Peninsula State University, and our good friend, the President, Dr. Gregorio Rodis, is here as a core partner in this endeavor through its additive manufacturing research laboratory established by the Department of Science and Technology, while we do our best to offer assistance in identifying and engaging strategic partners from the research and development community and the private sector. Sustainability in the name of science and technology runs parallel to our objective of attaining interdisciplinary training that will help us understand the interaction between society, the economy, and the environment, which in the long run will support the well-being of individuals and communities while promoting a better quality of life for every Bataeño. To end, let me express my deep gratitude to all our partner agencies and the people behind this project for making this possible. We admire your commitment to this endeavor and appreciate the trust you give us to make this commitment, to make this happen. We are looking forward to a productive collaboration with all of you towards the fulfillment of a cause much bigger than ourselves. Again, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat and good day to all of us.
Maraming salamat, Governor Abet. At this point in our program, we'd also like to hear a few messages from the chairman of the Carlos P. Romulo Foundation and convener of the National Resilience Council. No less than Ambassador Roberto R. Romulo is here with us. Ambassador, good afternoon. Do you also have Bataan connections like many of us here? I'm sure you do.
I do, but I think more than that, my heart is there with with Governor Abed Garcia, who's done a marvelous job. And I'm going to delete all the salutations. It's a waste of time since everybody has done that. But let me just say that Governor Garcia should show that impressive video before we started talking and show it to all potential foreign investors. It's worthwhile for them to understand that Bataan is first among all the provinces at this point in time. So I wish you, Governor, all the best in that regard. Going back in time, 3 years ago, 2018 to be precise, Secretary Pernia, Lorenzana, Secretary Locsin, Hansi, and I sat in my office with Tony Loizaga to seal a partnership to work together on climate and disaster resilience. It was also then that Ernie Pernia mentioned wanting to introduce NRC and Tony Loizaga to PAASE leadership, which, as you can see, is there now. There is, as the saying goes, the right time for everything, not to mention the right people to do the job. Bataan Province has been an outstanding partner of NRC's Resilient Local Government Program. And under his excellent leadership, Abel Garcia, the province has progressed through the repair portion and is currently sailing through the Adapt Year program. Today's signing lays the foundation for future science and technology based on public-private partnerships, which, as Governor Garcia said and Secretary De Peña, is the right way to go. It will create opportunities for the kind of investment-informed, multi-stakeholder cooperation that will advance Bataan's resilience and sustainable development goals. So, on behalf of the CPR Foundation and the NRC, I thank you for making a climate and disaster resilient One Bataan possible. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat, Ambassador Romulo. Governor Abet, nako, that is like a seal of approval for leadership and the things that you are doing in Bataan. Thank you again, Ambassador Romulo. We'd also like to hear, yeah.
Ambassador, maraming salamat po for all the support and the confidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Gov and Ambassador Romulo again. At this point, we'd also like to hear a few messages from Dr. Ernie Pernia, Professor Emeritus and writer of the University of the Philippines School of Economics, former NEDA Secretary, as mentioned by Ambassador Romulo. When you were in government, you were with Secretary Lorenzana and a few other heads of agencies, visiting Bataan. I wanted to also ask you, what do you see in the province of Bataan that makes us parang, okay, all our visions can actually come true if we do it in Bataan? So I give the floor to former NEDA Secretary Ernesto Pernia. Isaac.
Yes, I will mention something to that effect, CP, in my talk. Good afternoon, everyone, and warm salutations to the dignitaries and luminaries that have already been greeted earlier. As I will follow the step of Ambassador Romulo to just dispense with the naming of those dignitaries and luminaries. Yeah. It is kosher and indeed right and just that Bataan is chosen as the model, the exemplar for advanced science and technology innovation in ecosystem for sustainable development. I had the opportunity as the NEDA Secretary of visiting Bataan in 2017, where we had our annual development planning meeting. I had the privilege of meeting Honorable Governor Abet Garcia, who treated our group to a sumptuous dinner and a convivial program. It was also then when I learned, as a welcome side benefit, about the impressive characteristics of the province: peaceful, good governance, economically vibrant, and single-digit poverty incidence, which is, I think, the sole province that has single-digit poverty incidence in the country. Thus, Bataan clearly has the requisite features, hence the potential for easily imbibing and promoting science and technology innovation ecosystem, which would become dynamic and interactive between and among the government, academe, and industry, following the so-called triple helix model of innovation. Such interactive dynamism will then make S&T ecosystem foster self-sustaining, inclusive economic growth that will spill over into other provinces, thereby benefiting the country as a whole. Incidentally, it was also during my planning meeting in Bataan when I thought of proposing the Bataan-Cavite Bridge as a flagship project. It would simulate the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco because the sunset will also be there. So instead of being a functional, productive bridge, it would also be a sight to behold. The bridge was supposed to get off the ground sometime in 2020, but unfortunately was deferred for obvious reasons. I hope it will get going in the not too long future from now. Thank you and good afternoon to everyone.
Maraming salamat, Sec. Ernie. Okay. Not many people know, other than those who were instrumental in drafting this MOU, that the entire idea of that S&T ecosystem for sustainable development simply started from a webinar organized by Ma'am Giselle and Tony. No? And this only happened, I believe, 2 or 3 months ago. And because the vision coming out of that webinar was so clear, and that everybody in that webinar were in it, that was the reason why this snowballed, and now we are here and have already signed the MOU. Part of that meeting, I remember, was the president of Bataan Peninsula State University, among the other faculty and officials of BPSU. So at this point, I'd like to call on President Gregorio J. Rodis of BPSU for his message. Hi, sir. Nakamute po kayo. You're muted.
I am deeply honored to be a part of today's undertaking. It took some time before the world started to realize the significance of sustainable development. To our dear partners from the Department of Science and Technology, headed by Secretary Fortunato de la Peña and Director J.C. Sicat, the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, headed by Dr. Gisela Concepcion, Also, the National Resilience Council, headed by Ma'am Tony Yulo Loizaga, Governor Abet Garcia of Bataan, and the Carlos P. Romulo Foundation for Peace and Development, headed by Mr. Roberto C. Romulo. I am confident to say that the BPSU is one with you as we step forward towards achieving the goals on sustainable development. The official definition of sustainable development was developed in the Brundtland Report in 1987. It is defined as the idea that human societies must live and meet their needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. With that, it is clear that the academe like BPSU plays a crucial role to make this possible. In fact, BPSU's vision is aligned with this aspiration. It is a proactive, it aims to be a leading university in the Philippines, recognized for its proactive contribution to sustainable development through equitable and inclusive programs and services by 2030. Thus, I am glad to share with you some of our initiatives that leads the call of sustainable development. The first one is the commercial production of high-value vegetables using the BPSU automated soilless culture system. It addresses the challenge in producing available food due to complex impact of hydrological imbalance that directly affects the agricultural ecosystems. BPSU also takes pride on the establishment of an additive manufacturing research laboratory, or AMREL. It is the first additive manufacturing research laboratory in the Philippines, and this is funded by the Department of Science and Technology. BPSU is also into smart farming through the project on improving productivity of Karawang mango through introduction to smart farming technologies in plant water relation manipulations. Also, I can say that one of the breakthroughs of BPSU is the establishment of BPSU Environmental Sustainability Office. BPSU, with its 6 campuses, has its share to the total carbon and other greenhouse gases emission in the province of Bataan. And thus, with the center, it aims to really establish the baseline for carbon emission among SUCs and also provide solutions to these problems. With these initiatives and other initiatives that we are doing in the university, we greatly believe that the university is taking its part to achieve sustainable development. And today's signing of Memorandum of Understanding will further solidify our efforts. So thank you for always considering BPSU as one of your partners. Rest assured that we will always do our part to be of greater impact to our students and to our community. Together, we can do more together. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Thank you, President Rodis. And definitely, no, parang may favoritism na nga, sir, dahil ang daming projects na papunta ng BPSU and Bataan. But this is all because that we know that we have a credible and active partner in the person of the president of BPSU, as well as very active faculty members like Kokoy Dizon, in BPSU. So all the more that we are encouraged to partner with you over there. All right. Thanks again, sir. Next to provide his message is Julius Cesar V. Sicat. Everybody knows RDJC, DOST Regional Director for Region 3. And personally, I'm glad to see that you're up and about. We know that you are battling COVID as of the moment, but it seems that you are well on your way towards recovery. RDJC, kumusta? And yet another project, that you have spearheaded.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Sir CP. Of course, I would like to acknowledge our boss, Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, sir, our Bataan Provincial Governor and concurrent RDC Chair, Honorable Albert Garcia, sir, our very active PAASE President, Ma'am Gisela Concepcion, of course, the National Resilience Council President, Ma'am Tony Yulo Loizaga, Ma'am, Carlos P. Romulo Foundation for Peace and Development Chairman and President Ambassador Roberto P. Romulo, sir. Our DOS provincial S&T personnel, I believe they are here, led by Provincial Director Catalina Cruz, former Secretary Ernie Pernia, Sir Vic Ubaldo, Ma'am Josie Timoteo, Doc Ryan Dizon, Doc Flor Rubiano, other officials present, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate our governor, Honorable Albert Garcia, for this new and additional development initiative, which will surely benefit the people of this province. And if in other provinces, an air of uncertainty lingers in the air every time election is around the corner, such is not the case in our beloved province. We already know that our next governor will be Congressman Jose Enrique Joet Garcia III, who is equally supportive of science, technology, and innovation-backed development initiatives. Congressman Joet will be running unopposed as his other siblings in the May 2022 elections. Ganyan po katibay ang ating political support dito sa ating probinsya. Kaya po nakakasiguro tayong magiging successful itong ating activity. Governor Abet Garcia had been steering the development direction in the province, guided by the vision attaining the lowest poverty incidence for his constituents and having the highest human development index in the Philippines. Although Bataan has the smallest land area in the region, our good governor had been spearheading the implementation of all sorts of interventions to attain this vision. Add to that the future construction of the 32.15-kilometer Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge, which will connect Maribeles, Bataan to Naik, Cavite, the design of which is expected to be completed in January 2022, we could expect that Bataan will be experiencing a rapid influx of investments catering to the equally increasing resident and transient population. Such socio-economic development will also bring about issues related to the increased population and increased need for basic needs and increased generation of waste. While some of these issues are contextual, some are also common across the 11 municipalities and one city comprising the province of Bataan. Addressing such concerns could be best achieved if we collaborate and work together for the development and implementation of programs and projects that respond to employment, food production, health and environment, research, education, and housing goals of the province. As an evidence of our firm and continuous support to the development initiatives of the chief executives of the province, the DOST Regional Office had continuously been extending technology transfer support activities for the past decades. Teaching learning tools such as Starbooks and interactive teaching learning modules had been helping prepare our primary and secondary level students for the challenges of higher learning. The DOST undergraduate scholarship program had also been benefiting a significant number of students from the province. Our technical consultancy services and testing laboratories had been helping many Abataeño to become more competitive, not only in businesses but also in academic pursuits. And must I say that the DOST Regional Office had recently partnered with the provincial government of Bataan in the establishment of a volumetric calibration laboratory in Balanga City. But the most notable projects that we had are those undertaken with partnership with the premier university in the province, the Bataan Peninsula State University. As what our beloved DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña had mentioned, our support for the development of food production technologies had been sustained and will continuously be sustained. From the time BPSU ventured into poultry, egg production, and tissue culture laboratory up to the present smart agriculture and Internet of Things initiatives, aptly called kaalaman, and plant water relation manipulation research to improve the productivity of the Philippine Carabao mango, the DOST Regional Office had always been a willing partner and benefactor. Introducing smart farming and Internet of Things to the agriculture sector of Bataan could reduce the need for farmers and growers to do physical work and could increase efficiency of farm operation by employing effective water usage, input optimization, and much more. These pioneering efforts of BPSU towards the fourth industrial revolution technologies would pave the way for the significant improvement of agricultural, manufacturing, and industrial practices using modern smart technologies. On its own, it may take decades for BPSU and the province of Bataan to achieve that. But with the brilliant minds of our PAASE member partners, BPSU and Bataan for that matter could leapfrog towards the fourth industrial revolution. Small as it may seem, Bataan is in a very strategic position to lead the race. With its future link to Calabarzon as a major gateway to Central and North Luzon, with the presence of robust industrial zones, with innovative and very supportive political leaders, with a productive academic and research community, and now with this collaboration with like-minded luminaries, I can see no reason for us to fail. Please be rest assured that the DOST Regional Office and the Provincial S&T Center in Bataan will again be a willing partner and be the conduit of the DOST system in extending all the necessary support within our capacity to ensure that this new partnership among the DOST, the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, the National Resilience Council, the Carlos P. Romulo Foundation for Peace and Development, the Bataan Peninsula State University, and the provincial government of Bataan will be a collaboration that other regions would benchmark on as a model best practice. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our top management of the DOST, particularly Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, for committing to support this endeavor as he had continuously done for DOST Region 3. And finally, I would like to echo what he had said earlier. The Department of Science and Technology, through the Central Luzon Regional Office, through the Bataan Provincial S&T Center, will be with you all the way in delivering science for the people of Bataan, of One Bataan. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon sa ating lahat.
Maraming salamat, RDJC. Okay, and good to see that you're up and well. Okay, alam mo kung ano lang ang downside dito sa program natin this afternoon? It's the fact that if during normal times, so without COVID, we would have all been together probably in Balanga, Bataan right now and signing the MOU personally. No? But unfortunately, because of travel restrictions and everything else, we have to do this virtually. At this point, because I know that all partners have already seen the copy of the MOU and have signed it, may I request that everybody who are signatories of the MOU, and if you do have that copy with you right now, we'll just do a picture taking. Okay, RDJC has it, and siguro if we can do, and Tony has it, and Governor Abet, I'm sure you have a copy there somewhere, and Sec Boy as well. You have that copy, and we'll just do a quick picture taking with everybody, because the next time that you will see these documents, you would have all the signatures of the partners in there already. Okay, Giselle, and our technical moderator for this Zoom, can you do a parang gallery view of everybody who has that copy? Governor Abet, Sec Boy has his copy, and Ambassador Romulo also has his copy. Ma'am Giselle, how about you? Where's your copy? It's there.
Will I sign as witness?
I believe you will be a witness, but
Okay. Yes.
signatory
Okay.
the signatory for DOST is, I believe, our
JT.
Yes, representing of
Boy, your name is there. Yes.
Sec Boy as was witness.
Sa copy ko wala eh. Okay.
Anyway, and also for BPSU. Okay.
John Ryan is in the other one.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll do the picture taking, and Giselle, do you have your copy as well?
Yes, I do. All right.
Very good. And Governor.
Yeah. Sorry, Sir CP, my copy is in the office. I'm out.
Okay lang. Are you in your home right now?
I have yes, I have another meeting downstairs.
But I'm sure you have signed it already.
Yes.
And BPSU President Rodis is there. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. All right. And I'll do another one. Sandali lang. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Smile. Okay. I got it. Thank you, everybody. All right. As we started right on time at 1:30 p.m., we are now in the closing portion of this program, right on the dot at 2:29, which leaves Tony. Hindi naman 1 minute, no? No, take as much time as you can because you are just an instrumental partner in having this MOU signed by everybody. No? So I give the floor to Tony Lozaga, President of the NRC. Hi, Tony.
Hi, thank you very much, CP. Good afternoon, honorable secretaries, and of course, Ambassador Romulo, Governor Abet, Ma'am Giselle, no? And everyone at PAASE, including, of course, CP. I'd like to end, I guess, where we began with Ambassador Roma's statement. No, I have a good friend at George Mason University Community Research Laboratory. Dr. Linton Wells is a physical oceanographer and spent a lot of time at the Department of Defense. But he always told me, Tony, sociology trumps technology any day. And the way this MOU came together, I have to say, had a lot to do with friendship, trust, social capital, and the confidence that we have laid in the leadership of Governor Abet Garcia and the province of Bataan. So I will end with many thanks to the different personalities and, of course, our role as the National Resilience Council, and to respond to Secretary De La Peña's query about how we got involved in this matter in the first place. Let me say that as Ambassador Romulo has stated, this happened in late 2018 during the signing of the partnership agreement between the National Resilience Council, the Carlos P. Romulo Foundation, Secretaries Locsin, Lorenzana, and Secretary Pernia were in that office with Mr. C and Ambassador Romulo, myself, and Malu Ernie, our executive director. And it all began when Secretary Pernia followed up on that meeting on the possibility to, in fact, introduce PAASE and NRC and work on this idea of building science, technology, and industry ecosystems. And I know that was a great project that began with PAASE at that time. And as Giselle has mentioned, this has now resulted into a bill or a law. Am I correct, Giselle, in terms of innovation and support for innovation in the country? You've all heard much about our roles now and tasks for the future. Let me just say a little bit about the Resilient LGU program and our partnership with the province of Bataan. There are 3 phases to this program: the prepare phase, which is baselining risk; the adapt phase, which is in fact modifying our existing systems to cope with the challenges of our risk; and the last phase, which is the transform year. And with this particular MOU, Bataan leapfrogs into, in fact, the transform year, much ahead of all the other LGUs that are in the program. Allow me to cite and to close with congratulations and thanks to all those who have been working tirelessly on preparing, adapting, and transforming towards climate and disaster resilient development. First, on behalf of the National Resilience Council team, Ambassador Romulo, our co-chairs, Mr. Hans C. and Secretary Lorenzana, our vice chairs as well, I wish to thank and congratulate Governor Abet Garcia and the resilience champions of Bataan, including Joff, Josie, Timoteo, DRMO, our different resilience champions at Zeni for economics, and Doc Heck for health, for example, for the privilege of joining you in your journey towards the vision of One Bataan. We thank you very much for allowing NRC to be part of that journey. We'll continue to support the goals and especially of achieving the highest human development index in the country through evidence-informed decision-making on climate and disaster resilience. And here's where science and technology is an indispensable part of this work. Through your vision, Governor Abet, the Freeport area of Bataan and the special economic zones that are located in the province find a very, very receptive host for the science and technology ecosystem for sustainable development. And we could not have found a better place for the establishment of this program. Secondly, I would like to thank the NRC team. You've not heard much from them, but Malu Ernie and her extensive history in the development of Bataan through the Petron Foundation, Marilu Suplido, our technical working group, Doctors Uy, Perez, Porio, Vicente, Lau Hamero, all of these scientists who may have not been part of the DOST ecosystem, but certainly are part of the scientific community that is contributing to climate and disaster resilience. Our specialists in leadership and governance, Bong Villamor and Jessica Bercilia, as well, and Engineer Dexter Low of Xavier University, who's been working on the mapping of COVID with the province of Bataan. Our partner, the Zwillig Family Foundation, who have been working for many years on building a robust health service delivery network throughout the province. Professor Ernie Garilao, now Austere Panadero, Dr. Tony Bo Faraon, all of these individuals have become pillars of resilience in the province as well. In closing, I'd like to thank our PAASE and DOST partners, specifically Giselle, whose energy has actually made this possible. And of course, CP as well for his interest and his generosity in working with the National Resilience Council. There are others, Toby Dairit, Gobet Advincula, who has been part of this team for trying to put the MOU together. Of course, Kokoy Dizon and Al Sarafika, all who have contributed to the MOU, as well as Sec Pernia as well. We trust that along with the DOST and PAASE and an energized role for BPSU as partners, we will have strengthened the foundations for evidence-informed and disaster-resilient development in Bataan through this MOU. In keeping with NRC's public-private partnership agenda, we are privileged to be supporting the creation of the new opportunities for Bataan in being the leading engine of inclusive growth in the country and even in the region. We look forward to working together with all of you in making the vision of One Bataan a reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. And because you mentioned the entire team of NRC is present, I see Ma'am Rosa is here, and of course, Malu and Noraline Uy and everybody. I'd also like to mention PAASE members who are also in the Zoom meeting. Al Sarafika, Al will have a big role in that one stream of the projects that we have envisioned, which is on 3D printing for housing purposes. Dr. Velarde of the College of Science is also here, as well as Tito Aliga, our friend in PAASE, and as well as many of the Bataan LGU officers are also with us. This actually ends and concludes our program. Maraming salamat, everybody. We have signed the MOU. Now the real work begins. Now we have 3 tracks, as mentioned earlier: plastics, recycling and upcycling, 3D printing for housing use, and precision farming. The next step, Ma'am Giselle, is to build those teams of those 3 tracks so that we hit the ground running and that this project actually gets to be realized beyond the document that we have signed. Yes, Tony.
Professor David, may I suggest that all the attendees be part of a group photo for this afternoon, including those, yes, who are not part of the program.
But before we do that, maybe any other announcements from Governor Abet, Secboy, or Giselle? Go ahead, please.
I actually have one.
Sige, go ahead, Tony. Una ka na.
Yes, I just wanted to share that I'll be coming back to PAASE and hopefully to Secretary Boy as well and Governor Abet. There is an invitation for the Philippines to host a regional science and technology conference, midterm of the Sendai framework. And what they would like to actually showcase is the achievements of the country, of course, in reference to everyone else in the region. And I will be working hopefully with PAASE and with DOST to get that organized, sir, for April 2022, next year. And we've had some initial conversations with Yusek Rene, with Yusek Halad and Secretary Lorenzana, and hopefully we will have everyone's joint effort in hosting this regional conference in the Asia Pacific for Sendai. Maraming salamat.
Of course, Tony, syempre. And then final words. Alam mo, I forgot to mention pala earlier that although this is a partnership between scientists and engineers and an LGU, in this case Bataan, Governor Abet, the real vision here is to show to everybody that this partnership can work and it becomes a template for other partnerships with other LGUs in the future. So medyo mabigat sa shoulders natin to make this work because the other provinces definitely will be looking at us and emulating what we have done. So, konting pressure, but I think with everybody in here, I think we'll do a good job.
So, CP, I'd like to say something.
Sure, go ahead.
I'd like to let everyone know that this is the second MOU that PAASE has signed with an LGU. The first being with Leyte.
Yes. Correct.
So I recognize also PAASE stalwart Alvin Culaba, who's our lead person in Tacloban. So as Tony said, it's so important for the leaders to have a stake in the province. So we would have such models that could be emulated and followed, replicated in other parts of the country. Now, PAASE just finished its annual conference. It's the 41st year of PAASE. The conference was held in Baltimore, Maryland. We had a live and online conference, and all our plenary and parallel sessions with distinguished talks led by one given by Secretary De La Peña, whom we conferred an award for distinguished leadership. They will all be posted in our website, on our website, which is full of information. And we had sessions on the whole range of the sciences and engineering. We also had a talk by a 2014 Nobel laureate in physics, who is responsible for the efficient blue LED that we use today. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. And it's you, CP. It's
thank you, Gisela.
Record time from the Fireside chat to today.
Thank you. And also Malu, reminded me here that Mr. Vic Ubaldo, who is head of environment of the town of Pilar, is also with us. Hi, Sir Vic. Alam mo, one of the towns, Governor Abet, that I really like in Bataan, of course, aside from Orani, where our house is Pilar and the Mount Samat area. Ang ganda nung area na yun. And there's certainly a lot of research that can be done in that area. So thanks, Sir Vic, for joining us.
Seems,
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Secretary De La Peña would like to say a few words. He's raised his hand.
Yeah. I just would like to follow up what President Giselle mentioned, that after designing at Leyte, we now have the signing in Bataan. We have a list of 20 provinces, actually, as suggested by the School of Urban and Regional Planning. These are the provinces that are very close to urbanization, and we would like to inject science and technology in the development of these provinces. So we have a program called iStart, Innovation for Science and Technology for Accelerating Regional Technology-Based Development. And the first province really who was able to attract partners was Leyte. So DOST Region 8, the Eastern Visayas State University, and then we have PAASE volunteers also there, Dr. Alvin Culaba and Dr. Joel Coelho. So the programs actually basically are on smart agriculture right now. And so we have this for Bataan, and I'm very happy. Actually, hindi pa tayo nagpipirmahan dito. Binulungan ko na si Giselle that I have a third province to recommend, and that is Isabela, because I see a lot of interest there. So, mangyayari ito. Hindi naman siguro matatapos lahat by June 2022, but at least if we can have mga 10 siguro of these provinces na talagang incorporated na yung science and technology and innovations, kanilang development plan, I think it will be I consider it a success already. And one more thing, I think we can attract more partners dito. I already communicated with the president of the BATAAN chapter of the Philippine Institute of Chemical Engineers. They are a big organization in Bataan. They have always been the top winner, best PICHE or Philippine Institute of Chemical Engineers chapter in the whole country. And I think they will be interested to have projects that will be supportive of this endeavor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll keep that in mind, no? Yung Philippine Chemical Engineers Society.
Petron Parate ang presidente dyan.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind. Okay, and Isabela is a good choice. Kasi yung ISU, malakas din sila.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Tony, yes.
Last word on Bataan being the template. Secretary Boy, Giselle, CP, and all. The National Resilience Council is about to start a 5-year project on resilience through science and technology with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Australia and UNDP, 10 provinces and 2 special regions, including BARM and Metro Manila. And we hope that we can invite you to take an active part in the projects as well. So 10 provinces po yun over the next 5 years.
Sounds good. And Giselle, we should promise SecBoy before June 2022 that there are actual projects that are happening in Bataan.
Bataan, yes. Then of course,
after I'm out, I will do some personal projects in Bataan already.
Oh, yun. Even better. Even better. O, sige. Ako,
Rizal. And a 4th province also, SecBoy. Pangasinan.
Sige. We will,
Ayan.
Favorites natin sa mga probinsya kung gano'n.
Oo, talagang naging maganda yung MOU ng PAASE at DOST in this particular sense. So.
Yeah.
Kailangan ng champions or prime movers in the province eh.
Yeah.
SecBoy, wag mo kalimutan yung probinsya natin, yung Bulacan. Manitin natin. Anyway, I'll give the last say, ano na lang, kwentuhan na lang to among friends. Governor Abet, no? We're all super excited to come to Bataan and do the project. No, I hope you're just as excited as we are. Am I correct that this is your last term as governor?
Yes, this is my last term as governor, and if you are excited, we are even more excited because to have the best minds backing up our programs and projects to produce or to give better lives to our people, we feel very confident that you are with us in this. So we are overwhelmed. We are so happy. Thank you for your kind words and your vote of confidence for the province of Bataan. We can't wait to proceed to the next steps so that before June 2022, meron na tayong mga up and running programs. So maraming salamat to the speakers for the kind words, and take care, RD. Hope to see you soon. Salamat Sec Boy. Salamat Sec.
Yeah.
Salamat,
You know, our ancestors will be very happy. You know, I never lived in Bataan, but of course, our parents were born in Bataan. My father-in-law was born in Bataan. So, actually, they were actually related. Ganyan naman sa Bataan eh. So, the Bansons marrying the Bansons.
So, Governor Abet, ibig sabihin ba na if you're no longer governor by 2022, meron ka ring pet projects through our MOU that you will be active as well, like Sec Boy?
Well, yeah. Yung
running for Congress.
Congress. Oh no.
Yung mga sisimula nating mga projects, yung mga sustainable township developments that really push the resilience, the health, and the education of the people, plus the environment, plus the economic side. Yun po talaga ang solusyon sa mas magandang buhay at mas maunlad na buhay. So we really want to push these projects nang sa ganun maging proof of concept for the rest of the other provinces or the rest of the country to follow. And I think maganda ho yung opportunity natin dito sa Bataan with your support and with you backing us up.
Mahirap kasi yung whole of nation approach. Kailangan talaga mga ilang model provinces ang i-showcase.
I agree.
Great. Oo. Ganun eh.
All right. Unless meron pa kayong i-add, RDJC, baka meron ka pang gusto sabihin. At kung wala, or Kokoy, you'll be one of the workhorses here in the MOU, ha? Baka hindi mo pa alam, marami tatrabahuhin dito.
Pero I would like to mention, the researchers in agriculture have been winning at Picard competitions.
Of BPSU?
From BPSU. Oh, yes. They've been winning in terms of publications and other outputs.
Yan naman yung pinaka-excited ako to collaborate with agriculture scientists of BPSU. Nandun ako sa precision farming track, Sec Boy.
Oo. Sila Dr. Pagya ba yun? Very active.
If you don't mind, I'd like to recognize Kevin Villanueva, former UPV professor and UP System Professorial Fellow, now based in a university in Taiwan. He is actually our connection.
Ito na yung connection na sinasabi mo.
We are signing an MOU. So Governor Abet extended ang PAASE with 4 top universities in Taiwan. We are signing an MOU with them, and they will provide us opportunities for training, especially in agriculture. Kevin, just a few words.
Thanks, Kevin.
Sociologist, scientist, Kevin.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure. I'm absolutely thrilled to hear about this development. You will be happy to know that I am now in the process of consolidating 4 rice experts from the University of the Philippines and another 4 rice experts from National Chongqing University here in Taiwan, which is the university par excellence in agriculture. And we hope to be able to link not the country, but the islands. What I am trying to say is we will try to link the island of Taiwan with the various islands in the Philippines. So the project is called ASEAN Research for All Seasons and for All Reasons, ARASAI.
Thank you.
So we will thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
We look forward to that partnership, Kevin, with our Taiwanese counterparts. Thanks for doing that work.
Wonderful.
Just knock. Salamat.
Al Sarofika might have something to say. Al, and
Al,
then
yes.
Yeah, actually, I'm very excited. Seeing everyone to be excited. I can't wait for the teams to be formed. Governor Abet, it starts with you. What do you need in Bataan? We form the teams, the scientists, the entrepreneurs, business, the government, Tech Boy and JC, and your personnel in academia and DPSU. We have teams on each of those topics that you described. Let's go. So yun lang. I'm very excited, and I think let's meet as soon as you're not locked down anymore. I normally go to one of the resorts, an old resort near what's that? I forgot that. It's
Anbaya. Anbaya?
Hindi. After Anbaya, actually, a very old resort that I just went.
Doon na lang, sa Sinagtala na lang.
1 kilometer from the
Montemar.
Montemar. I go to Montemar. We still have a lot in Montemar, actually. So definitely, I'm looking for. My wife likes it there, so you're already halfway there.
Yeah,
I can come anytime as long as she's with me. So I'm very excited, and again, let's get to work, guys. Ano na, gawin na natin. Definitely, Tony. Thanks for bringing in Bobby Romulo to come in. It's a big effort for him to join, but definitely I'm so happy that CPR's foundation is behind. And I'm also bringing in our efforts in Unilab Foundation for System. We have Smart Agri, IoT, and all the other aspects that can support the PAASE effort we're in. So again, the foundations, I'm bringing them in to help us kasi may pera rin sila on top of what Sec Boy is gonna give us. So, so definitely, sama-sama tayong lahat dito. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ala. Okay, like a typical Pinoy party.
Ben Pexon.
One hour ang mga paalam. 1 hour bago makapagpaalam lahat hanggang bahay. But thank you, everybody. A picture with everybody. If
Sure, I am doing my own picturing.
Teka muna. Pwede bang gallery view, everybody? Okay. I see we have 2 pages, huh? Okay, so I'll do the
I have 4.
Doc CP, Jel will take the picture, Doc CP.
Okay. Sige, just bilangan mo na lang kami.
Yes po. So we have 2 panels. So first panel, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, panel 2. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
All right. Okay, before 3 p.m. we are done. Maraming salamat, everybody. Sec Ernie, good to see you.
Thank you very much, CP. Thank you,
Thank
Giselle.
you,
Governor
CP.
Abet.
Thank you, CP.
Secretary Boy, thank you.
Thank you.
Ernie.
Salamat, Governor Abet. Thank you.
Salamat po, Sec. Thank you. See you soon. Ingat po.
Thank you po.
See you soon.
Abet, Governor Abet.
NRC team, thank you.
JC, malakas ka na. Malakas ka.
Bataan team, maraming salamat.
Yes, JC.
Governor Abet had fun memories of my visit there.
Yes, we fondly remember that, and we always talk about it. Hopefully, you come back soon, Sec.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Sec Ernie, dapat ilinya na rin natin ang Bohol as one of the partner provinces.
Yes. We just have to, fix this governance in Bohol now.
Sec Ernie, that's where NRC can help. We have a leadership in governance for evidence-based.
Yeah, you know, governor of Bohol is not from Bohol. That's a problem.
We'll wait for 2022 then.
Do you know who it is? It's Arthur Yap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not from there.
Former DA.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, well.
Thank you very much po. Thank you.